Ready? Go!
Alright, so Mario 35 just came out, and this game is fantastic. I played it for like 3 hours straight last night, to the point where my brain was just going numb and I was kind of like falling into the dumbest holes and just straight up walking into Goombas, but this game is a blast. Now, the Mario platforming games never really had like a multiplayer kind of thing. It was more like a take turns kind of multiplayer, so this is a really, really cool take on the idea. I know there was like a Flash game that a fan made about a year or two ago, but Nintendo kind of cease and desisted that whole thing. So this is what came out of it, and it is genuinely a blast. It is a great time. I personally grew up playing the original Mario over and over and over again because I had a bunch of siblings. My parents didn't make all that much money, so I was stuck playing like the older games and the older consoles when like the newer generations came out. I was still playing the old stuff, so like I really grew up playing these levels, and there's just something about them that just always makes me happy and puts a smile on my face while playing them. But of course, there are a few things about this game that, you know, could use some polish. I guess the first thing and like the biggest issue would be how long the matches are, and it doesn't, you know, it's hard to feel like you're influencing the outcome in any way. You can choose who you want to send your garbage to, choose who you want to attack and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it just feels like you're kind of just waiting for somebody to screw up. You're not really doing anything that's gonna make it extremely difficult for them, and you know it's your hand that caused them to die. It's hard to feel that way. And like at the end of the game, it even shows, you know, how many kills each player got, and most of the time in the games I've played, like, there's only 1 or 2 people that have a kill. Everybody else dies of their own accord. So it's hard to tell what constitutes a kill. It's hard to tell what you need to do to kind of secure those knockouts. And like, it's hard to feel like you're actually kind of contributing to the outcome of the overall game. And that kind of translates into the games being really, really, really long. Some of these matches go on for like 10, 15 minutes, and I imagine theoretically they could go on for longer. It gets to the point where the timer starts counting down super, super fast. It's pretty much counting down at like the same speed that you can build up time by killing stuff. So like eventually one person is just gonna run out of time because they're just not gonna be killing stuff as fast as the timer is counting down. But even in that situation, it takes so long for somebody to die because you're both just killing things, sending things back to each other, which is giving both of you more things to kill, which in turn increases your timer. And then when you kill stuff, you send it to the other person, it increases their timer, and then they kill it, send it back to you. It goes on and on and on. Nobody dies, and the game lasts forever. For example, when I was playing earlier, there was like 8 of us left, and it had gone on with those 8 people for like 5 to 10 minutes. And I was ordering food with Skip the Dishes, and it was at my door. It was already delivered. So like 5-10 minutes goes by. It's still the same 8 people. Usually it's just like, you know, 2 to 5 people at the end that are just going for like 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. But there was 8 people. Nobody was dying. 5-10 minutes passed, nobody died. So I was just like, you know what? I gotta go get my food before it gets bad from being in the sun. So I just had to like Sudoku, you know? So I think that's the biggest issue. The matches they take so long, and it's hard to feel like you're doing anything that kind of contributes to the end result. The other little issues I have with the game are just very, very minor. Things like the whole player icon badges that you unlock. They're spread out randomly, so it feels like it's certain objectives and things that you're doing in the game that's unlocking them, but it's like every time you level up, you unlock a couple, so it also feels like it's tied to just you leveling up. It's very confusing, and you don't even see them. The only time you see them is when you're looking at the results screen, which I'm sure nobody looks at. You know how when you're loading into a match and you're waiting for all the players to connect, and there's like the 35 Marios all filling in on the sides? Like, why not show everyone based on their profile icon instead of just 35 8-bit Marios? What's the point of having these player icons if I can't show them off? Oh, speaking of connection, I didn't even think about this until earlier today when I was watching a video and someone else mentioned it, but the connection is buttery smooth. It's so smooth that I wasn't even thinking about it. There's no lag, there's no stuttering on your side, and if you're looking at all the little screens of all the other Marios, looks perfectly smooth too. Did they implement rollback netcode for Mario 35 and not Smash? Like, oh, another little thing that bothers me is when you're playing like the regular mode and you get to choose your stage at the beginning. I have no idea how that works, and they don't explain it to you at all either. It feels like it's some sort of like, you know, majority rules voting system like in Mario Kart. But I mean, I've picked 3-1 like 10 times in a row, and every single time we get 1-1. So I don't know how it works, and I think in order to unlock the next stage, you have to play on the stage before it or something like that. That's also not explained, which is kind of frustrating. But yeah, I haven't been able to get past 3-1 or 3-2 because I just can't seem to play on those levels. Oh, and I guess the last thing that kind of bothers me is how limited the control customization is. You have two different options for the joystick, whether you want to control Mario with the joystick or the D-pad, and then you have two different options for your run and jump buttons. So I started playing this using the GameCube controller. Terrible mistake. Don't play this with the GameCube controller. The button layout was so bad, I literally just decided to walk into a Goomba and kill myself first round, because I was like, I had it set up so that like Y was the run button and like B was the jump button, and on the GameCube controller it's like Y is like up here and B is like over here. So I was doing some like claw thing to try and like run and jump at the same time. It was not working out. So you really want to be playing this game with the Pro controller, or I guess the Joy-Cons. I was gonna call them Wii remotes for a second. Yeah, other than those like 3 or 4 things, I think this game is really awesome. It's kind of dumb how they're gonna just, you know, turn it off at the end of March next year, but I feel like they'll probably do something that will have them like call off the date. Like if they, you know, introduce like DLC for, you know, different courses or game modes, or add like different items into the game, or other mini games and ways to play things like that. Man, these people upstairs are super loud today. So I can imagine keeping the game running if they find some way to like monetize it, because right now it's a free game, and the only point of making games is so that you can sell them and make money. Like nobody just spends all their time and effort and resources making a game just to give it to people for free and just watch the smiles on their faces. I mean, that sounds like a very wholesome thing, but let's be real, nobody's doing that. So unless they find some way to like, you know, put like microtransactions, like different you know, outfits and things into the game, something like that, I mean, I'm not gonna buy them. But hopefully they find some way to keep the game running past March, because it would be a darn shame for them to just shut this thing down. It is a ton of fun. And that's it for like the review portion of this video. I was gonna like end this video with a bunch of kind of like tips that I've picked up in my, you know, short 3 hours playing this game, but maybe I'll just make that into a second video, because I feel like this one's already pretty long. I've been rambling a lot, so probably just gonna make that a video on its own, just so like if you are looking for tips, they're not like hidden at the back of this video and you only watch the first half and you can't find them. I'll just make a new video. So stay on the lookout for that, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when that goes up. Like I said, I've been playing this game for years. This game has been out for like, since the ancient Greeks were around, so there's like 6 billion YouTube videos up showing you where all like the item box locations are and the hidden box locations for the 1-ups and the stars and stuff like that. If you're really curious about it, all that content is already out there somewhere. Like I said, this game's been around, these levels have been around since like the dawn of time, since the dinosaur era. So there's tons of content, tons of tips and tricks out there, and maybe I'll put out my own short little video, kind of just a couple of tips to get you started and get one of those epic victory royales, you know? So thanks for watching, thanks for liking and subscribing, drop a comment down below, let me know what you think of Mario 35, I absolutely love it. Maybe I'll stream a little bit of it. Let me know what you think in the comments, catch you next time, happy smashing.